My daughter-in-law is the only person at that table who uses my name. She married into it 4 years ago. To my own children, I stopped being Margaret a long time ago. To them, I was her, or she, or mother said the way you'd say a bill that came due. Priya was different. She'd married my son David 4 years back, and every Sunday she pulled out a chair and said, "Margaret, sit here, I saved you the good one." The change in them came slowly. The Sunday dinners started including conversations I wasn't part of. David and my daughter Claire would drift into the kitchen and lower their voices, and when I walked in, they'd stop. My other son, Marcus, kept circling back to the house. "You rattle around in that big place, Mom. Doesn't it get to be a lot? I've lived there 41 years, I said. It gets to be home." Then one Sunday, Claire brought a folder to dinner. She set it beside her plate like it belonged there. "We wanted to talk to you about something," she said. "As a family. All of us already discussed it," Marcus added. "Discussed it. Without me." David wouldn't look at me. Priya looked at all of them, then at me, and set down her fork. "There's a place called Brookhaven," Claire said. "Assisted living. Very nice. We toured it." "You toured it," I repeated. "She can't keep managing on her own," Marcus said to Claire. Not to me. There it was again. Like I'd left the room. The stairs, the bills, the yard. "It isn't safe for her. I'm sitting right here," I said. "Margaret's sharper than all three of you," Priya said quietly. Claire ignored her and opened the folder. "We spoke to someone about the house. If we sell now before the market turns, it splits 3 ways and covers Brookhaven for years." She slid a paper across. "It just needs your signature. And this one gives David power of attorney, so we can handle things if you're ever not up to it." "If she's ever not up to it," Marcus corrected. She again. I looked down. Power of attorney. A listing agreement already filled in, my house priced and dated. They hadn't asked me a single question. They'd made every decision about a woman named her, and I was only invited to sign. "You've been inside my house," I said slowly, "taking photos for a listing." "Last month," Claire said, not embarrassed at all. "While you were at your appointment." David finally spoke. "Mom, it's for the best. You'll thank us." "Sign here, Mother," Marcus said, uncapping a pen and holding it out. I took it. I felt all three of them lean in. Priya went very still. "Before I sign anything," I said, "I want to tell you I'm proud of how thorough you've been. You really thought of everything." Claire smiled. "We love you." "You do?" I said, "which is why I know you'll be happy for me." I set the pen down. "I sold the house in September." The kitchen went silent. "You what?" Marcus said. "I sold it 2 months ago, well below market." To Priya. Every head turned to my daughter-in-law. She didn't flinch. "That's insane," Claire snapped. "That house is worth. I know exactly what it's worth. I also know what it's worth to be talked about like a piece of furniture." I lifted my own folder out of my bag. "Priya's been driving me to my appointments since March. Do you know what my doctor put in writing 3 weeks ago? That I'm of sound mind, fully competent." I asked him for copies. 3 of them. Marcus's face had gone gray. "You can't just—" I moved into the suite Priya made up for me in September. That's why the rooms in Claire's photos were empty. The house was already hers by then. "This is elder abuse," Claire said, standing. "She's manipulating you." "Careful," I said, "because there's one more thing." I took out my phone and laid it on the table. Priya asked me once why my own children stopped using my name. I didn't have an answer for her. So for the last 3 Sundays, I left this recording running in my bag. Every word about Brookhaven. Every word about power of attorney. Including the part, "Marcus, where you said we should get me to sign before she clues in." Marcus sat down very fast. David dropped his head into his hands. "Mom, you'll notice," I said, picking up the pen they'd handed me, "that Priya is the only person at this table who has said Margaret all night." I slid the listing agreement back across to Claire. "Keep the pen. I'm keeping my name."